Some overnight news here from Michigan basketball. They have landed German center Malick Kordel, 7'1", 250-pound big man who chose the Wolverines over Iowa, Villanova, Xavier, Butler, BYU, and others. This is not a shock name to anyone that follows Michigan basketball if you've been paying attention. It's been rumored that Malick Kordel has been committed quietly for quite a bit now. In fact, I don't even think there was an official announcement of this, but people found out online he was enrolled at the University of Michigan, and that's how this news broke. So, very little fanfare on their new center. Malik, for what it's worth, his production this past year where he was playing, he averaged 12 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 2 blocks a game on 71% shooting while playing professionally in Germany for a team called the Fraport Slyliners. I don't know if that's a typo. It's supposed to say Skyliners or Slyliners or what, but he made his debut in the German Bundesliga league this year, and apparently that is the same league that Mo and Franz Wagner played in. So a little bit of a German pipeline continuing for the University of Michigan, even past, it started with John Beilein into Juwan Howard, who coached Franz, now into Dusty May with Malick Kordel. Have you had a chance to watch any film on Malik, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he played for the Frankfurt junior squad last year. I watched a little tape. He had 29 and 21 in one of these games. He's a monster. Like very, very strong. Extremely hard to guard, mostly because of his size. The people he were playing against were obviously like less athletic than the college game, a little bit smaller than the college game. So it'll be interesting how that transitions. He's 21 years old. Do we have any idea what that means for his eligibility?
Probably either a sophomore or a junior would be my guess.
My guess is, and Michigan doesn't need him to play that much this year, by the way, because of the big man rotation they have, and like point blank, they have one of the best bigs in college basketball in Yaxel. But my guess is he probably isn't a huge contributor this year based upon his game. It's pretty raw, I would say. But his strengths are like the natural gifts that other you can't just give to somebody. So if Dusty's able to develop the aspects of the game you can actually develop, you're getting a guy with probably as much natural born at like gifts as anybody on the roster. So I think it's a great get for them. It's a shot in the dark, of course, but it's a safer shot in the dark than I think most teams are taking with international prospects.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued for a couple reasons here. I want to start with just this because I feel like with every international commit, we kind of have to have a like, is he good conversation quickly. Um, I don't know. I don't know about Malik Cordell. Truly, he's not one of those guys. Like we came on here for Arkansas's latest ad. We were like, he's got nothing. He's just big. Malik has more than that. He, at minimum, is like a super dunker spot guy. Like basically all of his percentages anywhere he's played, he's like 80% at the rim. Like all this guy does basically is jump over people and dunk and be huge. 7'1" dude, really big, really athletic, that can dunk everything is like really intriguing. The most interesting part of Malik Cordell to me is that he just started playing basketball recently. Now, this in no way does this mean that he's for sure good, but he grew up a handball player, Dion. And then in the middle of COVID, he just started playing basketball instead of handball. And very quickly after picking up a basketball, like started getting opportunities with national teams and in professional leagues. So I will say you watch film. I haven't been able to find a full game of him, but Hoops has some cut ups of him film wise, and you can find stuff on Twitter. Film wise, it very much makes sense what his path has been to how he plays on the basketball court. He doesn't look like a basketball player. He just looks like the biggest, best athlete on the court at all times who doesn't know what he's doing and is still good enough to catch and dunk anything. And I would bet, like, honestly, don't let him see a volleyball once he gets here. Because if somebody gets a volleyball in this kid's hand, he's going to be on the beach in the next Olympics for the USA. I have no idea if it's going to translate to Big Ten basketball. No clue whatsoever. But this is the dream ad to use your last scholarship on, right? We've been talking about how other programs have been trying to do this. Um, the Michigan front court is already loaded. I think it has an argument for best front court in the sport between Mara and Merez and Yaxel. There are no minutes to go around. Those three guys should play 80 minutes at the 4 and the 5 this year, with a little Will Cheddar maybe mixed in. This video is brought to you by NBA2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of Colorado.
Is that this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. But if this kid's willing to wait, if he's just coming to America to be at the University of Michigan and develop and almost maybe even take a redshirt year here, do I think he could become something down the line? Based on how rapidly he has gone from I've never played basketball to this, I do think there's some pretty serious upside here. Now, he may never hit it, but I think if it hits, you're talking about like a really, really awesome, fun dunker spot guy, which could work.
Yeah, I mean to your point about like not knowing if he's good or not, I mean that's the chance you're taking because he played pro ball, but he played at like the B level. It wasn't on like the senior team, right? And he is 21, of course, and it like you said, he just started playing basketball. I typically hate guys that just started playing basketball that late. I don't think it really ever works. It might work this time because he's a freak athlete. He's a freak athlete. And to your point, like if he finds a volleyball, honestly, listen, I don't know his water situation, but when he learns water polo exists, like, I mean, that's like it could be special. But like it's one of those situations where I think you're taking a chance on a guy you don't necessarily need to play a rotational spot, who, by the way, could easily take minutes from a Mara, or it easily could take minutes from Merez if he picks everything up quickly. I don't know that I think he will, but it's a great shot in the dark because he has that potential to do that.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know. I like this will almost assuredly come back to bite me in the ass, but basically the absolute best case scenario outcome that I think you're dreaming this kid could be 2 years from now or a year from now is what the kid at Penn State was this year. Yannick Conan Niederhauser, who basically had a really good year on a bad team at Penn State, popped off the screen athletically as just this enormous dude who dunked everything. And you never gave him post touches, but you didn't need to because he could dunk everything. And then all of a sudden he goes to the NBA Combine and tests out of this world. And now we're talking about him maybe being a first round pick. I don't know that first round pick will ever be in the cards for Malick Kordel. I don't think that's what this is. He's a little bit older. But could you get what Niederhauser gave Penn State just in college form for a couple of years? That's the dream here. But Michigan, I can tell you this, Michigan's not going to recruit or prioritize their team as if that's going to happen. This is a nice to have ad. And if you get through some practices and all of a sudden this kid does start beating out a Demara, then everything changes. If it never happens, though, fine. Like Dusty's not building this team planning on Malick Kordel to be an on-court weapon, but it's about as fun of a bench weapon as you could possibly have.
I think that's the point. Like that's why it's the best use of your 15th scholarship possible because it's the most fun 15th person you could possibly have. And by the way, like Michigan's going to win a lot of games by a lot of points. When he subs in, it's going to be special. Like the pick and roll with whoever the fourth point guard on the roster is, where they just throw it in the air to him and he goes and gets it while Michigan's up 40 at the Breslin. Like, I mean, that's special. In a worst case scenario, that's going to be special.
Chill on that. I'll just take a win of any kind. We don't need to talk about 40. I don't want to lose and bitch about the logo, which that's how last year went when my team was pretty good, by the way.
Well, I was going to bring up also, he's going to be a hell of a security guard for that logo.
Honestly, I might tweet that right now. Have to think this is a great end of bench ad for fighting tradition purposes.
Like if you could get past Fat, good luck getting against away from the 7'1", 260 guy.
Honestly, yeah, it's a great point. I'm tweeting that immediately.